But yesterday seemed really, really good, as did Dustin. So fingers crossed, our main event is in place. Have some word that the co-main event is looking pretty solid too, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch, as they say. I know it's very early for all of you. Some of you will be staying up late. Our friends on the west coast of America, our friends on the east coast of America will be up late, perhaps, waiting to see if this championship fight will go ahead. I'm sure Khabib will be first out after what we just saw there, so stand by. Also, big hello to our European fans who are just waking up early to join us to make sure that Saturday night's entertainment will still be in place, of course. I don't know the rest of the time zones, so I'm not going to get into that, I'm afraid. But I hope you're happy nonetheless, wherever you are. Khabib would have been the big concern, really. That was the only person that people were really worrying about this week in terms of weight, of course. His being the most important due to the championship bout, but good sign here. There's a significant amount of media here, has to be said. We didn't think there would be a big turnout, but around Poirier's media day scrum yesterday, it was one of the bigger crowds I can remember seeing at these events. Obviously, a lot of people let down that Khabib did not do a scrum yesterday, but still a massive amount of media here. A lot of people were wondering whether the extreme heat of Abu Dhabi would affect people's weight. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But certainly a good sign that Khabib and his team have come out 10 minutes before the official window begins, and it looks like Khabib Nurmagomedov, the lightweight champion, is on weight. We're actually joined by Zhang Weili as well, our strawweight champion. She is in the building.
Stop it like a little pieces right before you go. And then once you kind of go down. So, it was a lot of fun. Riding through the dunes. I've done dunes before. This was
About 3 minutes until we will open the official window. I will talk to you then.
He's gonna go first.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
When Heidi's ready, then I'll be ready.
I'll be ready. Jeff, you ready? Casey.
2 minutes.
We don't have to wait. Give me 1 second. Casey, they might
So
start.
we'll start exactly in 9, just like we're supposed to. Pull a lot of
Nick will take the rest of the day. Does that get back? Sometimes it doesn't on purpose.
And now here we go. We're about to begin. Only a couple of minutes left until we get the party started. We'll probably wait for Dan Hardy to come out here and announce the beginning of the weigh-ins.
I recommend
Here we go. We're about to get underway, and here is Khabib Nurmagomedov, the lightweight champion.
Look inside the hoop.
As we said earlier, he did come out to check his weight earlier, and he did seem very positive. He got the hoop for a man. Amazing. It's not every day we see this, guys. History in the making. Khabib's smiling up there. You know, we heard a lot of people talking about how he looked, etc. I really didn't think it was that bad, as I said earlier. And he seems very positive here.
155.
That's championship weight. We're just waiting on Dustin Poirier now, so we have an official bout. Official championship bout, that is. That must be a great sense of relief for Nurmagomedov, who had some history with some issues on the scales, but what a good feeling that must be. Looks in very good nick. There we go.
I finally got a Khabib quote.
Yeah. And there it is. Breaking news, headlines around the world. See you tomorrow. That's very good. That is as positive a start we could have asked for, really, guys. That was the one that was being whispered about.
You know, the real big news is they finally used the hoop.
The hoop, I said this. It was a groundbreaking moment. We're having the first women's MMA fight in Abu Dhabi tomorrow, and we have the first weigh-in where we use the hoop for a male fighter. Amazing. As the chants of hoop of shame go around the media room. Yes, that's a very good start. I mean, this was the only thing we had really heard. As I've said multiple times, after the no-show at yesterday's media day, it was all the talk of the town that Khabib was having trouble making weight, but his appearance didn't really suggest that, though, because he did look a lot better than I'd seen him in the past. Usually we expect a tidal wave of fighters coming in here, but it's not really happening now. Here's Dan Hardy telling us, let's see. Who's he got? Oh, it's Dustin Poirier. Here we go. We have a championship fight. It's coming quick. I don't know why else he'd be here this early if he wasn't on weight. Poirier seemed really positive all week. It was never really in doubt from anyone we spoke to in the camp, even off the record. Everyone was very positive about this. Here we go. Let's see. The fight that everyone's there to see. Let's see if it's going ahead.
Also 155.
155, we got a championship bout. There we have it. The fight that really brought us here. Don Madge, South African talent. This guy, a lot of people very high on him. The Magic Man. Eurobash co-host Noel McGrath has sang this man's praises over the years and up until his UFC debut, which was a head kick to punches win over Ted Edwards. He takes on Faraz Ain in the opening bout of UFC 242. Let's see how he's getting on.
55.
And it's 155 for Don Madge, the Magic Man. Really exciting fighter.
Am I going the right way for you?
Next fight in the welterweight division, Takashi Sato.
Welterweight, 170.
Takashi Sato now. He takes on Belal Muhammad. He's looking for 170. Let's see if he gets it.
171.
171. That is inside the welterweight limits. A positive start here in Abu Dhabi.
Next fight in the women's bantamweight division, Liana Joshua.
Liana Joshua here, one of my prospects to watch in 2019. She's an amazing prospect, a former Fight Nights Global champion. She had some huge upset wins at the Russian promotion, and really expected to make big waves in the bantamweight division. Still very young, the Georgian. She's just 23 years of age, as far as I know. I expect her to be right up there at the top of the division in a couple of years' time.
34.5.
Under with ease at 134.5 there. She takes on Sarah Moraes, even. Apologies. Moraes is on a 3-fight losing streak. It's hard all out. Andrea Lee now. Who takes on Joanne Calderwood. This is a very exciting flyweight fight. Two of the best strikers in that division, outside of the champion, of course. Really looking forward to it.
126.
126 inside the flyweight limit for Andrea Lee. We're going well. We're going well. I don't want to jinx it now, but we're going well, guys. Now, there was a lot of talk about the heat over here, the extreme weather, whether that would affect people. So far, so good, it must be said.
Next fighter in the welterweight division, Nordin Taleb.
Here's Nordin Taleb. This is a very interesting fight because he's taken on a Wushu Sanda world champion, several times decorated, Muslim Salikov. And Salikov didn't get off to the start he wanted, but if there's ever going to be a fight where we're going to be able to see the full array of his striking skills, it's against Nordin Taleb. Nordin Taleb is a man who doesn't rush to take an opponent down. He likes the striking matchup, so really I think we're going to get to see the full array of Muslim Salikov's talents here. I really like this fight. Taleb, of course, used to be a security guard for Guilherme Cruz's best friend Neymar, the famous football player. I don't know if he still does that though, maybe Guilherme could tell us. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really exciting fight. It's a bit of a sleeper. Salikov is a spectacular striker at his best. Here comes Edson. Edson and Paul, two pretty big 55ers. Edson was very gracious yesterday. He stuck around so me and Casey could get a word with him. He's in incredible shape, as always. This is, of course, his first fight under the ATT banner. 55.5, he's in there with ease. He has moved to ATT after, I think it's 3 losses in 4 in his last 4. He would have trained a bit with Paul Felder under Mark Henry. That was after their initial bout.
Next up in the welterweight division, Muslim Salikov.
Here's Muslim Salikov, the man I was just talking about, who takes on Nordin Taleb. This guy is a really famous man in Wushu Sanda world, which is a huge world based on the Chinese population and how popular it is over there. I guess he didn't get the start that he wanted, and he was really highly touted, and he got a loss in his debut. But as I've said, a fight against Nordin Taleb should be a brilliant striking encounter. He's kind of on the back end of his competitive career because he's 35 years of age now, but several times gold medalist at the World Championship at Wushu Sanda.
In the welterweight division, Belal Muhammad.
Belal Muhammad. Did all of you see the video of Belal Muhammad playing a prank on Paul Felder? It was hilarious. You need to go over to Paul Felder's page and Belal's Instagram pages and find that footage because it was hilarious. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Just let's see the weight first.
170.
170. Belal Muhammad. He showed up at Paul Felder's room with a friend of his who he dressed up like
Moving on to the featherweight division.
He told Paul Felder he had to kiss his hand. And Paul Felder nearly did it. Here's Lerone Murphy. Many of you might have seen our story yesterday, and it was all over the place, really. Everybody was talking to this guy about his remarkable story. He got shot in the face twice, and he turned his life around. And here he is making his UFC debut against Zubaira Tukhugov, which could be a huge win for him, let's be honest. Zubaira is a well-known commodity on the back of UFC 229, so a lot of people very, very hot on Lerone in the UK and beyond. Trains at All Powers. Here's Carl Prince joining him on the stage. He's a teammate of Kane Mooses and Brendan O'Kane.
Moving on to the middleweight division. Omari Akhmedov.
Here's Omari Akhmedov. He's taking on Zach Cummings. Should be a gritty fight, that one. I think both of these guys used to play their trade at 170.
186.
186, and he looks all there at 186. Let's be honest, Akhmedov could be looking to make it 4 wins in a row. Oh, excuse me, he drew to Marvin Vettori, so not 4 in a row. 3-1 in his last 4, let's say. 3-0-1. I beg your pardon.
Next up in the flyweight division, Joanne Calderwood.
Here's JoJo. She was telling us yesterday that she feels more physically solid at flyweight than she ever has before. Let's see if she gets 126. Made it with ease. She looks like she hasn't struggled at all there to make that weight. Really looking forward to that fight with Andre Lee. My word.
The other half of your co-main event in the lightweight division, Paul Felder.
Here's Paul Felder. He was clapping himself to the stage here. He was telling us yesterday that he's doing a good job of staying out of the sun, as am I. And he has been collecting cookies from the breakfast room to eat after this, so you can imagine the anticipation for a bit of sugar. See what's happening here.
55.
55. Gotta say, my colleague Nick Pete from the Fight Disciples pointed out at the open workouts on Wednesday that Paul didn't drop a beat of sweat during his open workout, so we were afraid that maybe he was off. You know, he could have been 5 pounds off and he just wasn't shedding any more water, so that's very good news. For Zayeb, who takes on Don Madge, I believe, in the first fight of the day. Zayeb making his debut. He's on weight, but quite a baptism of fire against Don Madge.
Next in the lightweight division, Otman Azaita.
Here's Hotman.
Excuse me, you're right in front of that camera there.
Takes on Timo Pacquiao.
56. 156.
German born of Moroccan descent. He hijacked our interview with Zubaira Tukhugov yesterday, which was hilarious, to be honest. You should have a look at that if you get a chance. He seems very pumped up for this, his debut, of course. Timo Pacquiao will be looking to regain parity on his UFC record. He's currently 1-2. Do we have a bit of a break? All right. Hardy is once again calling out. Another 55er, I believe.
Next in the
Timo
lightweight
Pacquiao.
division, Davi Hamos.
Davi Hamas takes on Islam Makhachev. He's a bit more dressed down than we saw him yesterday. He was spruced up. My word, he looked fantastic at that media day. But very positive coming in here.
56. 156.
156, wow. He looks in great shape, my God. He feels like this is the biggest fight he's had nearly, you know, with Islam being such a high prospect. And really, he's going to be getting a hometown welcome here. Davy feels like he can steal a lot of momentum.
Next up in the featherweight division, Zubair Tukhugov.
Here comes Zubaira. As you can hear, a lot of people here supporting Zubaira. After UFC 229, his involvement in that post-fight fracas, we didn't know if we'd ever see him in the UFC again, but he thanked the UFC for bringing him back yesterday when we spoke to him. He told us this is a hugely proud moment for him, and after the hospitality he's received in Abu Dhabi since he arrived here. 146, he's on the way.
Next up in the heavyweight division, Curtis Blades.
Here comes Curtis Razor Blades, who we didn't get to speak to yesterday, unfortunately. It was time dependent, but told the Macular's Oscar Willis. And he is, him and Taitu Ivasa, 251, him and Taitu Ivasa send each other messages about how much they hate Justin Willis, which is pretty funny. All right, we have a bit of a break here. Wow. So this is Peter Carroll for MMA Fighting at UFC 242, Abu Dhabi. Let's have a look at how we are doing, how many people we are left to see weigh in here. Because I have not been able to keep track of it because it was a conveyor belt of fighters, as you know, if you've been watching. Thank you to everybody who's been watching our coverage over here. I really appreciate it. So far we have Khabib Nurmagomedov at 155, beat Dustin Poirier at 155. That's a championship bout in place. The co-main event, Edson Barbosa, 155.5, beat Paul Felder at 155. Davi Ramos is weighed in. Curtis Blades is weighed in. Joanne Calder Wood is coming at 126. Andrea Lee is coming at 126. Zubair Tukhugov and Laurent Murphy have both weighed in. Liana Jojoa has weighed in. Otman Azatar has weighed in. Belal Muhammad. Here comes Islam Makhachev. We just saw Davi Ramos. Let's see how Islam looks.
$55,
155. You're waiting for Zach Cummings, Timu Pakulan, Sarah Moras, Diego Ferreira, Merbak Toysmov, and Shamil Abdurakhimov. I believe it's 6 fighters we're just waiting on now. Making good time here, just 17 minutes since the window was open. Now, this is the most significant pause in action we've had this morning. It is sweltering over here. Let me just tell you a bit about Abu Dhabi since we've been here. The heat is crazy. You know, I thought I experienced it all in Vegas, but my God, you walk out of this place, you might walk about 5 meters and your whole back is just covered in sweat. Delicious visual I'm giving you there. Believe me, I feel like you need to know. Well, kind of staying in some resorts along Yas Island. The arena, which is to host this event, is a temporary structure. It hosted the Red Hot Chili Peppers on Wednesday, and it was supposed to host another concert last night, but the artist pulled out of it. There's some talk about whether the arena is ready to go yet or not, but we haven't been able to confirm anything. It'd be interesting to see. One story I did hear was that the air conditioning unit for the arena was only put in on Wednesday, and it would take 3 days to reach optimum levels. So that could probably affect some fights if that situation has not been fulfilled. If the air conditioner isn't working on full blast, you'd imagine that the humidity here would be very difficult for fighters, especially grapplers, as Casey pointed out to me earlier. I think they're working on building a permanent structure. As you know, the UFC has signed a 5-year deal with Abu Dhabi. They will be coming back here every year for a championship bout, or so the press release suggests. So I believe that they are looking for a more permanent structure in the future. I believe it was actually meant to be a permanent structure for this event, but instead it's going to be an arena which can be taken apart. And hello, and now you can all see me. You lucky, lucky people. All the way from Abu Dhabi. No sunburn yet, thank you very much. But it's been a great morning. We've got our championship in place. I'm, of course, Peter Carroll from MMAfighting.com. And I'm here with the lovely Casey Lydon and Esther Lynn. Oh, he's doing it again. Casey has been hitting me daily over here, to be honest. I am an abuse victim. But I mean, we couldn't really ask for a better start here, Casey, could we, with the championship bout being in place? Like, I mean, did you hear of anyone else struggling with weight? The only concern was Khabib.
Have you seen the spread back here?
Oh, well, we wish we could take the camera.
The craft services here is amazing.
We had. You want to see the spread?
Are people eating? I have no idea. The fresh pineapple, oranges.
It's a beautiful thing.
There's like 6 different types of croissants back there.
We were blown away
What are you
also
guys talking about?
with the media day spread. The media day spread yesterday was really impressive, wasn't it? Come on. Maybe we can. No, I was going to see if Nick Pete would have a word with us, but he's already running away. He's very camera shy, is Nick. But yeah, we're going well so far. I guess we're going to have a bit of a break. You know, and this doesn't always suggest that, you know, a fighter is having trouble or something. Some guys just know that they're on weight, so they'll wait to the latest possible part so they can have a bit of a lie-in, which I respect. I don't recommend it for my own purposes, but it does happen quite a bit. On tonight, actually, if you are looking for MMA tonight, there's a Cage Warriors event on tonight as well, a bantamweight tournament, if you're interested. Their last 2 bantamweight champions, Nathaniel Wood and Jack Shore, have gone on to sign UFC deals. That is really the proven path to the UFC in Europe. Certainly the UK and Ireland as Cage Warriors, so might be an interesting one tonight if you need your fix of MMA, that is. Of course, the big championship bout. What time? Do you know what time the fights are taking place on the US, the Abu Dhabi card?
It takes place locally. It takes place like a Eastern time zone pay-per-view.
Right.
So Go to Google.
Here you go, listen to this, guys.
Go to Google. Put in how do time zones work, and then you will find out.
There you go. You've heard it from the man himself. He wouldn't lie to you. He would not lie to you. Let me have a look at the event schedule so I can tell you guys about this. I really don't know how to spell. This is all just a ruse. So the official weigh-in is going down today at 6 p.m. local time. That's going to be... we have a word from Brian Tucker here, who was telling me it's 2 p.m. ET on ESPN Plus main card. So there you go, guys. I knew that, but you know, Brian, I have to give him the glory there because he did put it right in front of me. But I was just about to say that, Brian. Okay, stop harshing my buzz, man.
If you go to the YouTube page and you can click on the live stream right now, you can talk to some of our wonderful, well-informed, very polite YouTube commenters.
I have a bit of a previous with those. I don't know if you know that from my live chat days. Let's see how we're getting on. I can imagine the abuse is going to be rampant.
So yeah, feel free.
Here we go.
Oh, that's polite.
Oh wow.
What, poop is slow?
Poop is slow. Wow, this is so formative. You see, I learned.
Mixed martial arts.
You're also learning, you know. Oh, these people are amazing. I don't really have any questions to answer, believe it or not, Casey. Yes, Hulk Hogan, I agree. He's a great man. Any questions, just slash them in there and I'll try to. Is it true Artem is in Abu Dhabi? I have not seen Artem Lobov in Abu Dhabi. None of my sources are telling me as much, but let's see. Any questions now, or we all just... I love you too, thank you. Did Khabib make weight? Yeah, Khabib did make weight. He made weight at 155. He was the first guy on the scales. PT looking oi. What's that mean? You see this? I hope you can. UK time. It's so the UK is 3 hours behind us. We're at 9. We're at 9:30 nearly. So yeah. So if it's 2 p.m. main card on the East Coast, as Brian Tucker has graciously informed me, that will be 7 p.m. in the UK and Ireland. People are asking me here who's going to win the main event. I gotta say, I think it's a lot more even than people are making out. I mean, the favour is heavily skewed towards Khabib because we're in Abu Dhabi, because he is such a big deal here. Like, let's be honest, they've brought Khabib here because he is this massive deal in this part of the world. Just come on into the shot here so you can show the people. Look at that. Would you call that a croissant?
I don't know what it is.
Croissant.
It's kind of a bear claw croissant.
He's going for bear claw, I go croissant, because I'm more cultured. I'm sorry, Casey.
Also, I'm from America.
Yeah, this guy.
I don't speak all your fancy English.
But yeah, I think
Guns.
it's. That's been most of my conversations with Casey, believe it or not.
Second Amendment, bro.
It's yeah, I guess it's a lot more even than people think it is. I mean, skill set wise, Poirier's looked amazing. He's a consummate underdog. I feel like every fight he's in, he's the underdog. You know, I feel like he has a certain amount of comfort with that. Whereas, even if you go back to UFC 229, even though I favoured Khabib a lot in that matchup, Conor is such a celebrity that people are kind of heralding him, and they felt like, you know, Khabib was being the bad guy to some extent. This time it's all on him. He's the hero. He's the champion. He's the unstoppable force. It's in a place that, you know, he hasn't competed in before. I feel like there's a lot of pressure riding on him there, and Poirier and Mike Brown have said that to me. So I think it's a very interesting dynamic, and I certainly feel as though if the air conditioning issue, which we don't know is real or not, if that is in place, I think that will work in Poirier's favour, because grappling it's very intensive and it's heavy breathing, and in this kind of humidity, it's not very easy. I think we're on standby again. Here we go. Dan Hardy has given us the cue, so goodbye. Love yous.
Next up in the heavyweight division, Shamil Abdurakhimov.
Here comes Shamil Abdurakhimov. As I said the other day, I told everybody this story, but I came into the hotel after a big flight the other day, and Shamil was in the elevator, topless, hulking out like Hogan in his prime. It was terrifying, but he was really funny. He was just trying to have a joke with me, and it was very, very funny and terrifying at the same time. A big dude, my God. And as I said yesterday, a fantastic beard. 257, that is a lot of man on that scale, my God. And I've got James Mystery here beside me. How are you, sir?
Thank you.
Are you enjoying yourself?
How's the commentating?
I think I'm amazing at this. I think Paul Felder, Joe Rogan, everybody's going to be very worried. You know, I think they're secretly pooing themselves. I don't know if we're going to drop curse words on this song. It's going to be very good. Poop. And here's Dan Hardy, who has been letting us know we're on standby all morning. How many do we have left, Dan? 5? 5. And that's official word from Mr. Hardy himself. We have 5 people left. I should really know who they are. I really should know who they are. Zach Cummings, Timu Pakalan, Diego Pereira, Merbak Toisimov. Is Toisimov weighed in?
Tyson's not weighed in.
No. But, and Sarah Moras, right? They are the 5 we are waiting for.
Sarah's getting backstage checking their weight.
Can you give us any intel? Have you heard anyone's having a bad time cutting weight or anything? Or?
No, not really. I mean, the people that are weighing in, the people that are backstage right now, they're struggling a bit more than everybody else. Everybody looks fine, to be honest.
So Dan Hardy expecting everyone to weigh in?
And he's been used to the team.
Right. So Diego Ferreira having a tough time according to our Raptors guys. Yes, of course, could all be strategy. This happens at jiu-jitsu tournaments all over the world. So, so that's pretty good. I mean, we have only got 5 fighters left, and you know, I think the main thing, I think you'll all agree, is that our championship bout is in place, and once that's there, that's the real spectacle of this whole event. Like when you walk around Abu Dhabi and you speak to the locals, like, I mean, there's burger deals on. Have a UFC burger. It's just insane. You know, it's all geared towards this. Everybody's asking, you know, oh, are you going to the fight? Khabib's fighting. Most of the locals don't really know who else is fighting, but they all know about Khabib. I'm trying to just think of what else we've seen UFC related. Casey and Esther, when they checked into their hotel, they had like one of these photo things set up with Khabib on one side and Dustin on one side. It feels like all the resorts, all the hotels are really aware that most of the people here are here to see this event. It was interesting as well the other day, we were at a mall for the open workouts, and it felt like there was no cars coming and going. Like, I mean, everybody that was in that mall, there was no just casual shoppers, they were all there to see this open workout. So that was very interesting as well. I believe somebody said to Casey that, you know, 10 years ago this wasn't even here, this was just a big patch of desert, which is crazy really, considering how built up it is now, and you know, pretty high-tech place, to be honest. And Brian Tucker, my fearless leader, has just told me that the weigh-ins are going to start at 10 a.m. ET. That's the ceremonials. Hopefully we'll have a preview show for you guys afterwards. Maybe we'll get back a familiar face. Hint for that one. But yes.
Well, maybe I disagree. Okay, right. I didn't have any today.
Maybe I should turn around and face you guys a bit more. I'm being very rude. If we're in a bar, you'd probably get irritated with me. So I should probably face you and engage you like the fine people you are. Let me see what our lovely commenters are saying. Who is weighing in next? Well, that's impossible for me to know, sir. That isn't.
Who's left?
I've gone through that several times.
Well,
No, why can't you just pay attention to what I'm trying to do here, Casey? Okay?
I can't understand your fancy talking.
So, yes, just again, in case you're wondering, let me have a look here. We're waiting on Zach Cummings. We're waiting on Timu Pakalan. We're waiting on Sarah Moras. We're waiting on Diego Ferreira and Merbak Taisimov. Everybody else is waiting. Bit of activity here. Someone else could be signing in. I just realised that Valentina Shevchenko has been behind us for a number of minutes on our broadcast.
Valentina?
It's right there.
Oh, right.
Two champions in the room, and if you remember correct, oh no, Johnny Wiley is now.
Super moment.
Yeah, and if you remember, I believe Wiley actually said she would be interested in a fight with Shevchenko. So who knows? Maybe off in the corner there was mad stuff going on, and I wasn't there. I was too focused on this to tell you guys what happened. I do not know if that happened, so please don't think that's what I'm suggesting. What else do we have? Your voice sounds like Coach Cavanagh. Thought it was him. No, that's just what Irish people sound like. That would be like me saying, Casey, you sound like Leonardo DiCaprio. That's what you're basically saying there. Oh, who's that? Is that Connor? No, it's a person from the same county as Connor. Is that John Kavanagh? No, it's a person from the same county as John Kavanagh. We can keep on playing this game. Who was left? I just told you. Do you want me to tell you again? Oh my God, you people. Sarah Moras, she's fighting Liana Jojoa, former Fight Night Global Champion. Timu Pakalan, he's fighting Otman Azatar. Zach Cummings, he's fighting Omari Akhmedov. And who else? Diego Ferreira and Merbak Taisimov, both of those guys. That's all we have left. That's all we got left, y'all. Everybody else on weight, and most importantly, the championship bout between Khabib and Dustin is on. Which was very good because, I mean, I saw you all when he didn't do that, the media day yesterday. Everyone was like, that's it, he's not making weight. It's all off. But lucky enough. And I really didn't think it was an issue like that because he looked quite good all week. And people were telling me, oh, you're wrong, Pete. I'm never wrong. Is your friend single? Are you talking about Casey? He's not, unfortunately. He is very handsome, though. I don't know. It's gone too quickly. They're all tuning in for the Irishman, who is not John Kavanagh, by the way. Okay.
So, John, when's Connor fighting next? and who hasn't weighed in?
I'm trying to think of what John Kavanagh would say in that situation. I don't even know.
Win or learn. Win or learn.
He'd say win or learn. He would absolutely say win or learn. Okay, you have a very punchable face. Thank you. Wow, cheers. You don't have a face, so I can't really fire anything back. Predictions for main event. Tell Casey his mustache is sexy. Casey, your mustache is sexy, my friend. Someone just told me to say that to you.
Yeah, sky's blue. Water's wet. All right.
A punchable face. I like that one. You know, doesn't everyone have a punchable face though?
Wait, yeah, your face is pointing, or I can point at your face.
Punchable.
Oh, punchable.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Punch them.
Your fancy John Kavanagh talk. I don't understand that.
Just makes me so angry. Yeah, I know. We commented on. Who's left to weigh in? Are you serious? Lads, you are winding me up, but I'll keep doing it. Zach Cummings, Timu Pakalan, Sarah Moras, Diego Ferreira, and Merbak Taisimov. And Dan Hardy was speaking to us there, and his Raptors film crew said they were backstage, and they said Diego Ferreira was having a bit of a rough time, but these things happen in MMA, as the saying goes. Greetings from El Salvador. Hello. Great to have you. A pointable face, they've taken that line. Say potatoes. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. What's the best one?
Are you getting hungry?
It brings back painful memories of the famine, if you wouldn't mind bringing that up.
Too soon.
And also, when I'm away on holiday, people always ask me to say 33 and a third, because we don't do TH very well in Ireland. I've been really trying around Casey and Esther, so they'll think I'm cool, but I said bathroom yesterday, didn't I? Effortlessly.
Yeah.
I said it like in a sentence, nobody even knows, and then Esther said, he said bathroom. Greetings from Liverpool. I love Liverpool. Really an amazing city, really amazing city. I need to get back there. I've only ever been there once, and that was for the UFC Liverpool event with Darren Till and Wonderboy Thompson. And that was crazy because there was a Bellator event on in London before then. And when the Bellator event finished, we got in a taxi and drove for 5 hours to get to Liverpool. And the weirdest thing about that was the person who drove the taxi was former BAMA champion Alex Lahore. I will tell that story another day, but my word, mental. Hello from Texas. Do you know who else is from Texas? This guy right here. I found that out the other day. He's from Houston, Texas. Houston, baby. Where we at? Hello from New York. I love New York as well. I was there for the 205 event, as I said earlier on. Khabib fought Michael Johnson that night. Conor McGregor fought Eddie Alvarez, probably his greatest performance ever. And it's probably the standard he's always going to be held to. So, you know, quite a drop off there after that Khabib fight, it must be said. Why do people keep on telling us things about Keith Jardine? They think you'd give RDA a run for his money in terms of mustache. What do you feel? Like, how do you feel about RDA's mustache? No? Oh, it's controversial. He doesn't like it. You don't like it?
Stipe Miocic, though.
Did he have a nice one? Oh, I'm going to have a look.
When he's a fireman, the photo he took cleaning the toilets, he's got an amazing mustache.
Let me have a look. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, it adds so much to him. Stipe, if you're watching, man, that is impressive. My God. Spam 2. All right. What are your predictions for the main event? Can you show it? No, you can't pull that around now. Where's Khabib? Khabib has probably gone home, enjoying himself, destroying himself with a load of water. And what would you say Khabib eats after he weighs in? A load of potatoes? I'm just saying that because I know you want me to say it.
Is that your answer for everything?
Potatoes! Peter, what are you doing later? Potatoes?
What's Khabib's favorite color? Potatoes!
It's a true story, that's what I said. Okay, let's have a look. Arizona, Shaheen Al-Shadi. Oh, and Jose Youngs, of course. Jose's in Arizona, right?
Yeah, Phoenix.
Phoenix, baby. Where you at?
You know they have a
Hipsters.
basketball team?
The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Yes! See that? I love when you try to get me on American sports trivia. But I played NBA Jam when I was a kid. I played Madden. I know this shit stuff. Excuse me. Apologies. Okay, what else do we got? Please send a shout out to Keith Peterson. There's a shout out for you. Sorry I called your face punchable. Look, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. You're a funny guy. Am I? Hello from Pakistan. Hello.
Right down the street.
Right? Just, you should have.
Right there. Hey.
What's up? Oh, over there.
Potatoes.
I hope you have. They actually have lovely potatoes in Pakistan. Yeah. Bombay. No, that's India.
What Pakistan translates to.
Yes.
In English, Pakistan.
Yes. I think it's. Yeah. I think that's pretty accurate. I love NBA Jam too. Yeah, thank you. That was a great game. Remember when you would score a few points and your boots, your runners would go on for it, your sneakers as you guys call them. Sneakers. Yeah, that's true. Here we go. We are back. We're on standby. Dan Hardy is showing up. That always means that something's about to happen. So, I'll see you again in a little bit. New Hampshire, where you at? Here comes Timu Pakalan. As we mentioned earlier, he will be taking on Otman Azatar. Azatar, perhaps. Maybe I've got that pronunciation wrong. I've done that quite a few times this week. But here, might have to take those spectacles off. 156, he's on weight. He's very sharply dressed at yesterday's media day, must be said. Full suit. And I think we're... Dan Hardy, I think we're taking another break now. Yeah, we have another break going on. James, is this another break now? Are we on another standby moment? Or just... So yeah, I think that's back on to Pete Carroll, of course, your host for this evening. You can follow me at Pete Carroll. I'm told to do that more than I do. I don't do it enough. I'm plugging myself. At Pete Carroll, all over the board. How do you spell Pete? P-E-T-E-S-Y. How do you spell Carroll? C-A-R-R-O-L-L. Thank you very much. That's the last time I'll do that. Have I seen Ali Abdelaziz over here? I have not seen Ali Abdelaziz. I've seen
EJ.
Yeah, we've seen Dan Ige over here.
Ige. Yeah.
I don't know what I said.
Wait, is it Ige or EJ?
I said Ige.
Is it Ige?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, you went.
I called him Ig the first time I interviewed him, and he was like, "What?" Hey, it's Dan Ig. No, it's not. Okay.
Potatoes.
No. Pineapple pizza. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I do have pineapple on pizza. I know that's going to disgust a lot of you. I have ham and pineapple would be my option on a pizza, and I know some of you would vomit it all over yourselves listening to me saying that, but I'm trying to be honest here, okay? Valentina v. Henry must happen. Did you see that Valentina and Henry in fact met each other backstage recently, and it looked like Valentina got the submission win, if I'm not mistaken. Islam did make weight. Yes, he did. Okay. Kerry for Sam, maybe, you know. It was good to see Dublin in a competitive game once, I'll tell you that much. St. Petersburg, Russia, where are you at? Glad to see we've got you guys on board. Alberta, Canada. You like my shirt? Thanks very much. My girlfriend got it for me. It's Ted Baker. Any more questions I can try and answer for you guys? Not that I'm a fountain of knowledge or anything. We're now just waiting on Sarah Moras, Zach Cummings, Diego Ferreira, and Merbak Taisimov. If you are only tuning in now, Khabib Nurmagomedov has made weight at 155 pounds. He was the first person on the scale, followed closely by Dustin Poirier, who weighed in also at 155. Our championship bout is in place. Any sleeper fights? Yes, you know, a lot of people are talking about this card isn't great and stuff, but I think there's a lot of certainly interesting things. Don Madge, he's in the opening fight. He's a huge prospect from South Africa, massive, you know. I think he's a fantastic fighter to watch. I think you'll have a lot of fun watching him. As I mentioned earlier, Muslim Salikov, he hasn't really had the the performance yet to match the hype. He's a multiple-time Wushu Sanda world champion, so a spectacular array of striking you'd imagine from him. But I think Nordin Talib is the right type of opponent for him, where you're going to see something. You know, you're going to see how good his striking is, how dynamic it is. You know, it could work out in Nordin's favour too, because let's be honest, Wushu Sanda and MMA is two very different things. I think that's a really good fight. Liana Jojoa, who I've talked a lot about this week, is a former Fight Nights global champion. I think she's going to be a big factor in the bantamweight division in the years to come. She scored some huge upset wins. She's from Georgia. She scored some huge upset wins in Fight Nights global, that is. She's from Georgia, and she's taking on Sarah Moras, who's on a 3-fight skid, so it's a hugely important fight for Sarah as well. If you haven't seen our interview with Laurent Murphy, you must check it out. Amazing story for the debutante who takes on Zubaira Tukhugov. He shot in the face twice, and it really turned his life around and has led him onto this MMA career. I think Calderwood and Andrea Lee is one of the better flyweight matchups people could make. Two very dynamic strikers, two decorated strikers, and Tyson v Ferreira, man. If you don't know who Tyson is, I can fully understand that, because he's never fought in the US. He's having serious visa issues, but this guy is amazing. I've said 7-fight win streak. I'm wrong. It's a 6-fight win streak he has, but he has devastating knockout power, and I feel as though if he could be fighting in the US, he'd already be in the top 10 of the lightweight division, and you know how difficult it is to break into that top 10. So that would be another one for me. The rest of them I'm pretty sure you guys know about. I'm more interested in the Makhachev Ramos fight than I was, and I was already very interested because I feel like Ramos is the most significant challenge Makhachev has had in a while. But when you listen to Ramos talking about this, and you've watched Makhachev's fights, he's constantly looking for takedowns, and Ramos is a genius on the ground. So I feel like, you know, those two styles will make for a very competitive grappling match. If you're only into striking, you probably won't like that one, but what can you do? And I don't think I need to sell Khabib v Dustin or Edson v Paul Felder to you. But yeah, I do feel like there's a few sleepers on there. Do I think Dustin is the best opponent Khabib has faced? I think he could be in this part of his career. You know, I think a lot of people would have thought McGregor would have been, but he didn't look the same fighter that fought Alvarez. I think that's fair enough to say for everyone. And here we have Oscar. Speak of Conor McGregor, and here comes Oscar of the Mac Life. And people were just asking me there, Oscar, they were saying...
Potatoes.
They were saying potatoes.
That's racist.
Potatoes, Carol. But they were saying, is Dustin Poirier the best opponent Khabib has ever faced? And I was saying, Conor McGregor probably should have been, but he just didn't look the same guy that he was against Eddie Alvarez. Discuss.
Yeah, well, you're right. I think everyone who watched the fight knows that the Conor who fought Khabib wasn't the same Conor that fought Eddie. And it's interesting because the Conor that fought Eddie, if he'd have fought Khabib, would have been super, the most interesting matchup.
Oh, it would have been brilliant. Yeah, I agree. I was a bit deflated by that, to be honest. Yeah, well, I suppose a lot of Irish people were, because you know, we hadn't seen Conor competing in MMA for so long, and then I think you know, it's interesting. Let's move on from a different part of the conversation, though.
What is Dustin the best opponent he's ever faced? In this time of his career, I think you could argue it. You know, you'd have to say that the momentum Dustin has right now is pretty insane. Like, to beat Justin Gaethje is crazy. And
yeah, I think he's a consummate underdog as well. Like, I feel like this situation won't affect him. You know, going in.
I see myself on screen there, Peter. I'm very handsome, aren't I?
Oh,
that's disgusting.
It's effortless, really, isn't it? Congratulations on that face.
Thank you so much.
You're a beautiful, beautiful man.
That's true. You sound better than me, though. So
let's see what says. Francis Ngannou versus Ariel Owanibi. Big competitive fight. It would be definitely a competitive fight, in fairness.
Ariel's got the reach.
Nick Peet behind you, yeah. Fight disciples. McGregor, haha, old news. Okay. Some of these questions are hilarious. I don't want to read them out, but fair play to you.
Does Oscar have plans for growing a moustache? It's a good question. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you asked. I actually can't grow a beard. I can only grow a goatee, so it's sort of something I'm working with, you know.
I can grow a full beard, but
Can
it's
you really?
crazy red.
Is it really?
It's like Ballfelder red. Like.
No
Here's
worries.
Jose Youngs. Real question: have Petey and Oscar ever seen the sun before? No.
We didn't like it.
I haven't gone outside once over here, man. If you
Mate, the
experienced
heat
it,
was oppressive, isn't it?
it's right. So the first night I went down to see Shaheen Al Shadi when he got in, and I swear to God, I walked for 2 seconds and I was just covered in sweat. I was wearing a white t-shirt when I left. When I got to Shaheen, it was grey.
I don't remember puddles being in my shoes before I left the hotel, but there were by the time I got back.
Yeah, it's incredibly warm. It's incredibly warm, guys. There's our reaction to Jose.
No, that was to the sun.
We're going to confuse everybody here now. All right.
Yeah, sorry, we're watching ourselves because we're very, very vain.
Yeah, I'm not that vain, but.
I am.
Right, MMA fighting. Ask Oscar if he wants to attend my birthday party. You don't want to ask him that. Like, he could potentially show up.
To be honest, my first very good response to that question was, where is it? Sure.
Yeah.
Fine. Can I bring booze?
What's happening with Snoozman v. Colby? Well, according to Ariel Hawani, that the negotiation for that is still ongoing and is not looking very good, apparently.
Ariel was tweeting earlier today that it looks like Covington is sort of giving the UFC some problems. So it looks, according to him, they're looking at Usman versus Masvidal, which is an interesting decision.
Please ask Nick Pete if Van Dijk deserves the Ballon d'Or. Does he deserve the Ballon d'Or, Van Dijk? That defender.
He actually has some, learning difficulties.
Love you, Dick. I'm only best. A lot of people shouting out Fight Disciples here on our live chat. You'll be happy to know. Is that Ariel in the white shirt? No, that is James Mystery from Raptors. He is in. Get a room, you two.
No, I was more like uncut, uncensored, uncircumcised.
Oh.
I enjoyed that.
Can we less of the profanity, please?
Sorry.
The Mac Life lowering the tone on the MMA fighting broadcast here. Excuse me. Right. Oscar is not Irish. Are you offended?
That they thought I was Irish?
Yeah.
Brexit's happening, Peter. Gotta be careful.
Your dad's Irish, though, right?
Northern Irish, yeah.
Yeah. So is Jose's. He's all one a piece. Y'all want a piece?
Jose's dad's Irish.
Yeah, he is. He's from Westmeath, I believe.
Shut.
Yeah. I call him the Celtic Chicano because he's half
I was
Irish.
say, you wouldn't say to look at it.
Why? Why? Why?
Very dark black hair.
What? So?
Irish people don't
What?
have
Yeah,
black
they
hair.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
John Kavanagh does.
Was it black? I thought it was more of a chestnut brown.
No, it's not. No. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this.
British coming over here and it's so.
Will Gregg's on fire. I'm sure he is. Your defense is terrified.
Whitaker versus Adesanya predictions. What do you reckon?
I feel like Whittaker, to be honest. It's close enough. Like, I mean, Adesanya surprised me against Gastelum. He was able to be so dynamic against him.
He was tough as well, man.
Yeah. And
Coming that back, you didn't think Izzy was going to beat Gastelum?
no, I felt like he could definitely beat him, but I felt like his skill set, he showed me that his skill set was far more dynamic than I thought it was in that Gastelum fight, So, yeah, I would have said, if you had put that match to me like a year ago, I would have said Whittaker 100%, but I'm still kind of leaning towards Whittaker, but Izzy is amazing, He's really blown my mind. And I've been covering Izzy's career since before he was in the UFC, and he's such an exciting person. I can remember the first interview I did with him when he signed for the UFC was like, he was saying, I want to be the Nigeria's answer to Manny Pacquiao. And I really believe that he could do that, He is that kind of captivating. He's that creative. He's a very handsome gentleman too. And that's important. That's important.
Listen, you got to market yourself.
How do you think I got so far in this career? Laugh.
No,
Which ones?
You are very handsome.
Thanks very much. I'm going to get several facelifts.
As well.
Oh, come on. Stop lowering the tone. Do we have something ready to go here? I think we do. All right. We're getting ready for another one.
I suppose I should go film this.
All right. All the best. Thank you so much for your
Thanks for
contribution,
having
Oscar. Love you. Hell yeah, flat earth. I'm with you, buddy.
Next fight to the scale, Diego Ferreira.
Diego Ferreira. This is the one that our friends at Raptors MMA said they were struggling well. Okay, you can see immediately, buddy. He's having trouble coming up here. He's moving very slow movements. It seems his coach is holding up him with his arm. He's shaking quite a bit. This is not stuff we really want to see in the sport. Let's hope Diego Ferreira can hit the lightweight limit here. Oh.
156.
156. Ferreira was trying to tell us something there, but he stopped halfway through. I believe he said, "Hi guys, I just want to tell you something," and then stopped. So he may have a message for us once again when he gets on the scales. Let's see. Looks like it's been a real struggle. Oh, wow, his child's in the back. That's a very emotional moment there. Wow. I believe one of his children just shouted up, "I love you, Daddy," after he made the weight there, which, "Hey, Dada," he said to him. Wow. Wow. That's pulling on the heartstrings, I must say. And I am a bit of a softie, so I'll just wipe away these tears very quickly before Casey turns the camera back around. Oh wait, I think we have Merbak Toysumov now. Let's see.
Next up in the women's bantamweight division, Sarah Moras.
It's Sarah Moras, who fights Diana Jojoa, the Fight Night's global champion. Sarah was in great form yesterday at the media day. We did not get a chance to chat with her, unfortunately.
It needs to be higher.
$138, that is 2 pounds over for Moras. 2 pounds over the bantamweight limit for Moras.
We'll let you know what the fine is when they talk to the opponent.
We're going to be informed about the fine, as told to us by Mark Ratner there, who was rocking a Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirt. Of course, they played in the same arena that the event will take place. They played there on Wednesday. As I mentioned earlier, there's some reports that the air conditioning isn't quite at the stretch over there yet, and we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can see if we can get Nick Pete over for a second. Nick, are you busy there? Do you want to come over for a second and have a chat? So, Casey's just focused on Moras for the minute, but now I'm joined by Nick Pete. We've had a lot of people in the comments here shouting out "Fight Disciple," so I decided I'd get you over. Now, a lot of them are making very disgusting comments as well, you need to know. So, running a deal with the nice people. But how are you? How are you getting on?
I'm good, mate, yeah, very good. Nice to see the main protagonist normally quite nice and easy this morning. Khabib being first on always helps, but yeah, man, it's nice to know the main events up and running, and Felder and Barbosa. Jesus
Serious.
Like, they looked amazingly ripped to bits.
Yeah, we were at the workouts, yeah.
But to see them even 10 pounds lighter, you've got to suggest, what, 2-3% body fat between them?
I was actually only telling the people earlier that when we were at the open workouts, you pointed out to me, you said, these guys, you know, they're not even, not actually just Felder. He didn't even sweat after he was up there, and we were going, oh no.
Well, we were having a good look at his body, weren't we? We got eyeballing him toes to head, and he didn't have it. But
I licked his back just to make sure he wasn't sweating.
He didn't have a bead of sweat on his entire body after the proper 20-minute workout as well.
Yeah.
So you feared the worst, you think.
We were very worried.
Yeah, man. We're still talking about sweaty men, Dan Hardy. Yes.
Dan Hardy doesn't appreciate the sweaty man conversation, but he really should. Yeah. We've talked about him sweating many times.
Exactly, of course. Even that media day. I was like going up to Felder and slyly putting my hands under his armpits,
I like that.
just to see if he was sweating then. But listen,
he must have been on weight, like he must have been very close, even on Wednesday, you know.
I think on Wednesday though he looked massive.
He did. Remember his back was so
looked-
vascular and everything.
Exactly. He still looked at least 10 pounds over. So to see him today, and not just that, see him today with a smile on his face as well. You think, yeah, man, he's up for it. And Barbosa's obviously up for it as well. Two of those guys. Hopefully, the way things are looking, that could be a fight of the year contender.
Yeah, it's got. You look at that first fight, and they were just basically just pirouetting around each other for like 15 minutes. It was incredible.
Yeah.
But the only person we've seen who had a particularly bad weight cut there today, well, looked like he did, was Diego Ferreira that we just saw there. That was quite an emotional moment there with his kid shouting up on the stage there.
With his kid at the back shouting, "I love you, Daddy."
I was like,
wait, me too. You know, my son's back home in the UK, and I was just like, they all come rushing in on me, and was like, get control of yourself, ran away, and let me call him quick.
Yeah.
But that was super cute. But he did, he looked wobbly on the scales, but he was so stripped. There was nothing left to come off him. So you can tell the last 24 hours have been absolutely hell for him. But then obviously Sarah's just got up and missed weight as well.
She didn't look as shaky though. Like, I mean, I'm glad that she didn't try to, hurt herself basically to make the weight. It didn't look like, she was in too much pain.
She wasn't like Aspen Ladd, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to see that stuff.
No, you don't. But the thing with Sarah and the thing with women fighters, across the board is
it's a different game.
Do we actually know enough about how a female body retains water, releases water? Does it depend on the time of the month? Have we done enough investigation around this to find out whether it's safe, whether it's not safe, what their actual capacity is? I think the UFC and just sport in general needs to do a lot more work around the female anatomy and genetically whether they can or shouldn't be cutting weight at certain times.
It's a completely different thing. Like when you talk to any female fighters about it, like, I mean, it's a completely different strategy for them. Everything's different. So yeah, I think it maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I think it needs to be rethought. But one thing I want to ask you while you're here is the matchup between Gastelum and Till. I know it has a lot of people talking. What do you think of that matchup? You're very close to Darren Till.
Yeah.
Most of the key interviews that come out from Till are from this man here, Nick Peet. So maybe you could give us your reaction. Some people were kind of saying maybe UFC shouldn't have rushed him into this. He could have taken on someone for a down division or Uriah Hall or someone like this. What do you think of it?
I think it's a great matchup. I think from Darren's point of view is Darren feels like he's been backed into a corner a little bit by Gastelum. So it all started because Gastelum put it on his Twitter, give fans a selection of fighters, who should I fight next? And overwhelmingly his followers voted for Till. And Darren's seen this and thought, yeah man, let's do it, let's throw down. Because the way Darren sees it is, it's a fight that he'll go in against that a lot of people think he's going to lose. So in a lot of ways, he's going to be the underdog. With fans at least, if the bookies don't have it that way, fair enough, but the fans at least are going, he's going to be the underdog here. Gastelum's, naturally bigger, stronger, he's been the weight longer. But what it's done is it's allowed Till to go and lift weights for the first time in his career. And his body has just
You've
gone,
seen him, right? Yeah, you tell me he looks
honestly, he looks huge. Right now I'm thinking, is he going to make 185? Because his body has just gone, oh man, let's lift him weights. This is amazing. This is what we've been waiting for. And he's just exploded. But he's enjoying training again because there's a new dynamic to his training schedule now. He's got a weights program with a strength and conditioning. He's in a great mind frame because, listen, even back in the day when he was undefeated, he used to always say to me, I can't wait to lose because when I lose, people will turn on me. Then when I lose, people will doubt me. And that's when I'll be even better. He's lost before, obviously. He lost in Thai boxing before he got into MMA. But he's like, I cannot wait to lose. And okay, nobody wants to lose in the manner he did in London in the main events, getting knocked out in the manner that he did, first time in his career. But I think also inside him, he feels like he's got everything to prove all over again now. He's like he's starting from scratch.
I like him when he has a chip on his shoulder,
Yeah, me too, man. I think the Gastelum thing, it is a big risk, but it's also a big reward.
Yeah.
He beats Gastelum. Till is a legitimate contender at 185.
Oh, 100%.
And if he loses against Gastelum, he's just lost to a top 5 guy at 185. So it's the fight after that. That, for me, it's the one after that. Should he lose, that's where the massive pressure is. I think if this fight wasn't Gastelum, let's say it was a Uriah Hall, I think that's got
a lot
even
more pressure.
Because if he doesn't beat Uriah Hall, it's like, oh shit, where does he go now?
Makes sense, yeah. I understand.
But the Gastelum fight, listen, I think Gastelum's got incredible hands, some of the best hands in the UFC. He's a fully fledged middleweight. He's proven himself there. He gave Israel Adesanya all kinds of problems. But while I think Adesanya's showy, a flashy fighter, was so skillful, I don't believe he's got the same kind of power Darren Till
Yeah,
carries.
I'd agree. I think Darren's power is going to be even more notable at the higher weight class. Like, I mean, was that you put up a picture of him the other day, Darren, in training, and his arms look like they've got hams. His biceps are huge.
Literally like fucking turkey leg arms. It's unreal. But he's loving it.
You're heading to the Tyson Fury fight next weekend, aren't you?
Yes.
And you need to check out Nick's podcast, especially boxing fans. These guys go to all the big events. Fight Disciples, an independent podcast, and Nick and Adam are hilarious. So you need to go and check these out. And of course, the Tyson Fury fight next weekend. Can you tell us a bit about that while you have some time?
Yeah, it's, obviously, it's not exactly the greatest opponent. It's not the fight we want. We want to see the Deontay Wilder Part 2 fight, of course. We want to see AJ and Andy Ruiz in the mix. Obviously, they're having their press week now. I think they're back over in New York today and in London tomorrow. So the heavyweight division in boxing is kind of exploded again. I think the thing with Tyson Fury is they're trying to make him a household name in the US. So they're putting these fights on, Top Rank are putting these fights on against, lesser guys. I think the guy he's fighting this time is the Swedish national champion for whatever that's
Does he have a decent record at least?
He's got an undefeated record. But at the end of the day, Sweden, professional boxing is banned in Sweden.
Yes.
While MMA is absolutely booming in Sweden, and obviously it's home to the IMAF. Professional boxing is actually banned in the country. So, listen, he's the right type of opponent to continue to build Tyson's profile stateside. They want to build this fight up with Wilder's second fight to be even bigger, to break box office records. But he's becoming a household name in the US already, and it doesn't surprise me that it's back in Vegas because Tyson Fury was made for Las Vegas. And what Las Vegas needs right now more than anything is big box office fighters, because there's been a real drop off especially in the heavyweight division.
Well, I feel like the heavyweight division's on fire at the moment, right? And even though I know Fury was saying when Joshua lost, it probably cost him about 50 million, Ruiz has become a thing all to himself now, right?
Yeah. But listen, Ruiz, for all those dad bods out there, Ruiz is the man, isn't he? To be the size he is and to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Forget about it. Brilliant.
Thanks so much, Nick. You're the man. And make sure you check out Fight Disciples, guys. We are back online here. Dan Hardy's going to give us a standby shout. Let's see what is going on. It's got to be Merbach Toisimov, or it's got to be Merbach or Zach Cummings, I believe, are the last two. Thanks again, Nick, man.
Next fight to the scale in the lightweight division. Merbach Toisimov.
Here comes Merbach. He's a big dude. He has had trouble on the scales before. Let's see how he gets on this time. He's got the towel. He needs the hoop of shame, as Casey has called it. Merbach looks very dehydrated, I suppose, is the only word I can use. And this is the last thing he'll want now after he talked to us yesterday about his USADA situation and the fact that he can't fight in the US. And I think the last thing he'll want now is to come in over the lightweight limit.
56!
56 he's on. That must be a massive relief for Merbach Toisimov. Well, you can see his tongue. He's very dehydrated, just searching around his mouth for any type of fluid in mind. That's a big deal. It's a big one for him. Still walking fairly well and stuff. How good that first drop of water or fruit must be. Islam has made weight, guys. I'm just looking at the comments there. Dan Hardy is no joke. That's 100%, yo. Right, so I guess it's just Zach Cummings we're waiting on, right? I'll try and confirm that with Dan Hardy there. He's keeping track of it if we can talk to him now. James, is it just Zach Cummings left? Ask Dan there. Yeah, it's Zach Cummings in. Yeah, cool. James from Raptors, absolutely useless there, I must say. Will we get James on? Will we see if James will have a word with us? Do you want to come over and have a chat for a second? Come on. And here's one of my favourite guys on Media Row. It's James Mystery from the Raptors. He's doing some amazing stuff with Dan Hardy and the full Reptile gang. How have you found the weigh-ins this morning?
It's been great. It's been amazing. I mean, I've took myself, to be honest, out of this room.
I better stop hugging you. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm making this uncool.
It's all right. I was outside with Will Harris from Anatomy of a Fighter.
Right.
So I was kind of following him around, like, looking for, who was struggling, who wasn't. Diego was the worst.
As we saw, yeah.
He was being almost carried as if he
I
broke
saw
his
that,
leg.
yeah.
All the way through, and then when Khabib came out, all of his family were there. There's about 30
Wow.
of them. Khabib came out, and I was somehow in the middle of it all. He was just, thank you, every single person. It was quite nice to see, to be fair. You don't really see that kind of family unity really that much at the UFC, do you? I'm sure it happens behind closed doors, but this was just so in your face, and it was a real nice vibe about it. I thought it was very interesting.
Did you find him to be, in a kind of a confident mood? Like, a lot of people were worried when he didn't show up for the media day, he didn't have a scrum. They were like, oh, he's going to miss weight. But when I was looking at his face, I was like, he actually looks really good. You know, that was what I was thinking. I was like, okay, well, maybe that's what that means. But it's hard to base that off because he's looked so good all week, you know?
Last night, yesterday during media day, obviously we were skeptical because, why wouldn't you do media day? Obviously, who really wants to do it? But then it's the main event.
Not me.
He kind of owes it to everybody here, doesn't he, as we were saying. And so yeah, I was thinking it's either weight cut issues or he's just trying to take that hierarchical step and just no, this isn't for me right now. I just want to concentrate on training. So I don't know. I was in two minds about that. But then, having seen him today, I thought to myself that he was doing. I thought that the weight cut probably wasn't the issue, and he just wanted to focus on his training because even when he left, he was in good spirits. He was seeming chirpy. He wanted to be with his family. There was no leave me alone. You know what I mean?
One of the really interesting things I found about this, and I only caught up on the embeddeds yesterday, is his father's here, and he's saying that's the pressure. That's the pressure this time. For the first time as a UFC fighter, my dad's going to be in my corner, and let's be honest, he's an intimidating dude to be around, isn't he, James? He's terrifying.
There's an aura around.
Yes.
There's an aura.
I was afraid to take a picture of him the other day.
I find the aura fascinating now. I want it
he's definitely commands so much respect, doesn't he? You just see everyone around him as so respectful of him.
100%. He's the kind of person I thought I'd never ever see.
Yes.
You see him on Instagram, you see him on pictures, you hear about him, and then here he is stood there looking Russian as ever, proper quality garms on.
And just the respect level, every fighter that walked past him that was even remotely involved with Khabib went out of their way. If they just caught him out of the corner, we better go over and say hello.
And even me, to be fair, man, I was pulled towards.
And he shoves cameras in everyone's face, and they don't even know what's happening. Him and Jamie always at it, man. Disgraceful people. But anyways,
one thing I found fascinating was when we were at the open workouts, and Khabib's father was stood
watching
almost
Poirier.
Stealthy in the corner, just peering at Poirier, watching him, sprawling and doing jabs. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was just there.
But that was interesting. That's how serious he is about this. He went out of his way to go and watch that. He felt like if he watched that, he might be able to take something from it. So it's I wonder how that dynamic is working between him and Javier Mendez.
Yeah.
Because Mendez would have been so used to being taken.
I think Mendez is getting a bit whipped.
He's pushed into the background.
Yeah.
Not this time.
I think he was late a couple of days ago, wasn't he? I don't know if you've been following on the Anatomy of the Fight.
I know, and they said he got in trouble over it. He was like, I got in a bit of trouble the other day. I was like, oh man, terrifying.
But it looks amazing. That's one place it's one camp I would be fascinated from a journalistic perspective to be involved in. You know.
So get on the phone, because these guys have gone to many gyms. If you want to go and check out some of the stuff they've done with Jorge Masvidal and stuff, you can check it out on Full Reptile there on YouTube. Really amazing stuff, and different as well. Very different stuff you guys are doing. Some of my favourite guys in Europe, I gotta say.
Likewise, man. This guy's the man.
They already know. They already know. They already know. You already know. I just have to say potatoes every half an hour and they're happy. Potatoes! Get arrested for that. But thanks very much for jumping on, James. Make sure you check out these guys, Raptors MMA on Instagram and Full Reptile on YouTube. They're the men. I love them. All the best, man. Thanks very much. Right, so let's get back to your questions. Was James at Polaris last weekend? I swear he was.
Yes.
Yes, he was. So there you go.
I was in the background, nearly getting wiped out.
Did Tyson make weight? Yes, he did. He just made weight. He came in. He had to get the hoop out, the towel as it usually is, but he came in at 156. Looked like it had a bit of an impact on him, to be honest. But we're just waiting on Zach Cummings now, who's fighting at middleweight. He used to be 170, so maybe it's just he didn't want to get up early. You know, that's all. It's just Zach Cummings, guys. I see a lot of you asking who's left. Morning, Petey. Oh, it's Sean Sheehan. I love you, Sean Sheehan. How are you getting on, my friend? Tell James to come back. Do you not love me enough? Like, I mean, I'm here pouring my heart out to you. You're asking, bring back people? I mean, I got up so early just to do this, and it's hurtful. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's really hurt my feelings. But yeah, it's just Zach Cummings now. Our championship bout is in place. Sarah Moras is the only person who has come in over the limit. She was 138. As I've mentioned a few times, she is taking on a big prospect from Georgia, Liana Jojoa. You see Dan Hardy in the background there? He's our he's the one that's letting us know when the fighters are on the way out. He does a great job of keeping us informed. Hey Pizzi, you're great. We love you in Sweden. Yeah. Do you remember he's all like in Sweden? I don't know what it was. Every time I tried to shoot video, someone was in the background like sticking up their fingers at me. So I love you too. Thank you very much. I think you're offended by my freckles, which I understand. We're from different cultures. PT, do you watch the MMA holds? I don't know what that is, but it sounds like it could be pretty X-rated. So send me a link. Right, who else do I get? Do you think Dustin's combinations will give Khabib a problem? The strikers Khabib has faced thus far have all been snipers with considerable punch power. Bro joking. I think his jab is his biggest weapon against Khabib. Because if you can land a piston-like jab when someone's trying to shoot in at you, you're going to make them very reluctant to do that. Jab can make someone fail on a takedown, believe it or not, especially if you can land it consistently. So I think even if he gets taken down for the first couple of rounds and Khabib's able to control him on the ground, if he can consistently land the jab, like in the later rounds, it could force Khabib to stand. And I think it's pretty obvious that, you know, Poirier's got the striking advantage, Khabib's got the grappling advantage, and Poirier can bang too. So I feel like he's definitely a more sophisticated striker, but I feel like his jab's his biggest weapon. I don't know if that's 100%. I am not Dan Hardy, but that's what I reckon. Oh, and it's another bear claw here from Casey, and he's got an array of fruit. He's got a bit of pineapple. I don't want to eat because everyone's going to hear me going. No potatoes over there, isn't it? Is there any potatoes over there? I ate them all already.
Baked potatoes, fried potatoes.
Yeah, it's.
Potatoes. So who's left?
Just Zach Cummings. That's all we have left. And that's the interesting one for me, Casey, because he used to fight at welterweight. You're like, maybe he's just having a lie-in, no?
What, this is 85?
Yes, I believe it is, yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been saying that for quite a while, so apologies if I am wrong. Yeah, Zach Cummins and Mari, they both used to be welterweights, I think. Or maybe Tapology just messed it up. Am I joking? Of course they didn't. But let's see if you got any more questions for us. Could you beat up Mark Raimondi? No.
I don't know, Mark.
He's a slugger.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can't beat him up.
And he's on steroids.
Juiced
To the gills, man. A lot of people don't know that about Mark Raimondi, but
you know,
true story.
All that USADA, he knows about USADA drug testing.
How do you think he knows all that stuff about USADA? Come on, put 2 and 2 together here, guys. He is juiced out of his mind. Pronounce potators. There you go. Casey is not funny. Just stop. You don't know Casey. How dare you? They're telling me like I'm not handsome, so I mean, would you believe them?
You have a very pointable face. I can point at that face all day.
we took it from punchable to pointable, so I'm happy with that, you know? What the hell? Don't know what that means. Ranked the best lightweight at the moment, Khabib. I think that's pretty obvious.
Wait, let me think about it. The guy that's undefeated and hasn't legitimately lost a round.
Tell Dan Hardy to get the UFC back to Liverpool. Hey Dan. The commenters want me to tell you to get the UFC back to Liverpool.
Get the UFC back.
Yeah, can you do that, please?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
He's going to sort that out for you. There you are now.
Oh, where am I? Am I that one?
Yeah, you're on this one.
Yeah. I'll sort it out. I'll bring the octagon over myself and set it up.
He does that every time. People don't realise he builds this. It takes days, but that's what he does. That's his commitment to the task, you know? Do you have any comments on the main event, Dan? What do you think? Is it as obvious as I think it is? Well, I don't think it's obvious. Sorry, that's what I've been saying all morning. But people were asking me, what does Justin need to do to stop Khabib getting in on his legs and getting those takedowns? What do you think?
I don't think he does. I don't think he does stop him getting on his legs. I think he loses the first 2 rounds. I think that's the most realistic thing to think. I think the best thing for Poirier to do is to get in there expecting to lose the first 2 rounds and start working the third.
Right.
You know?
So do you think of, like, I mean, he keeps on talking about playing to his strengths. Do you think in his mind he knows, like, yes, there is probably going to be a landed takedown here? Like, do you think Mike Brown even kind of acknowledges that in his preparation?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're realistic. You know, the first 10 minutes against Khabib are awful. I mean, like, he'll drown anybody in this division just with the pressure that he puts on them. And I got loads of heat for this when I did it when I said it on Inside the Octagon. But he had takedowns stuffed in the 3rd round against Iaquinta. And Iaquinta took that one on short notice. So if I'm Dustin Poirier, I'm watching that fight from the 3rd round. I'm watching 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and thinking they're my rounds to work.
Get in his own wheelhouse, he'll be able to stand with him.
Yeah.
Do you think, like, I mean, can you feel in any way like an upset? Like, so many things are geared towards Khabib winning here. You know, as in the location. The Muslim states are all geared towards this fight. He is a superstar now. He is absolutely everyone I speak to over here. They don't know any other fighter on the card, just like Khabib is fighting, you know? Would this be, I know Justin's skill set is fantastic and they're very even fighters in terms of they're both world-class fighters, but is this shock the world if he goes in and does this? Like?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And I don't think it matters who it is. If anybody beats Khabib, it'll be a shock the world kind of circumstance. I think of all the people in the division, I think there are other people out there that have probably stylistically got a better chance of beating Khabib than Poirier. But Poirier's got the tools to do it. I mean, everybody in the top 10's got the tools to do it because everyone can catch anybody with one good shot. You've got to think the way that Poirier fights. You know, he's adaptable, he's tough, he's not easily discouraged. That gets him through the first 2 rounds. If he gets through the first 2 rounds, he's got heavy hands, he punches in barrages, he's got good takedown defense, black belt Brazilian jiu-jitsu. His hips are square a lot of the time when he's punching, which means that as you hit that, you're hitting a wall. You're hitting square hips, which is more difficult to take down. And because he knows he's up against it, if he starts to have some success, any success, his confidence continues to rise.
Right.
Because it's Khabib, because he's so good. You know, if you have any success with him, Iaquinta will look back at that fight and think to himself, if I'd have had a full training camp, I'd have been able to capitalise more in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Defend a couple of takedowns, but then because he was so exhausted from the 1st and 2nd, and that's the thing with Khabib, and we saw the same thing with Robbie Lawler against Colby Covington. In my opinion, Robbie Lawler got into that fight thinking to himself, I'm just going to let him work. I'm just going to let him work for sort of 10 minutes, knowing full well that I've got that one-punch knockout power.
Yeah.
Because, like, you go back to that fight, and there was a point where Robbie Lawler's sitting up against the fence, not even defending the choke. He's just letting Covington work, and he's just like...
He's going to sauce out his arms here,
yeah. It's like, it's the way that I would spar if I was helping a fighter prepare for a fight.
Right.
I'll let them work. You You know, I'll let them work. I'll be difficult, I'll be awkward, I'll hide my neck, but I'm not going to like scramble and try and get out of it hard.
Yeah.
And I think he just played that game. And I think Poirier won't allow him just to do what he likes. Poirier's going to fight through those first 10 minutes, but I think at the same time he's going to accept that they're going to be the worst 2 rounds of the fight. So even if Khabib wins the decision, I think we might see a much closer fight. You know,
That's really interesting.
3 rounds to 2, perhaps.
Do you feel like it's going to deliver as a spectacle? Like, I mean, because there's going to be a lot of casual audiences tuning in for the first time in this part of the world. You know, to see this, like, do you think it will deliver as a spectacle? Like, I mean, even if you look at Khabib and McGregor, I felt like that was a crazy intense fight because of the personalities that were in there. Like some rounds, maybe a massive amount didn't happen, but it was just so tense. And I feel like because of Khabib, because of his status out here, so many hopes and dreams are going to be riding on his success that it will have that tension in the air as well. Do you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be a very tense atmosphere in there. But I also think this fight's going to move at a much quicker pace than most others. Right. Just purely because of the way that both of these guys fight. Khabib constantly moves forward. He's constantly working to get the takedown, to stay in his opponent's face. As you know, it's an additional weapon in his arsenal. Is that pressure? And Poirier is the same kind of fighter. It's just he does the same kind of thing with striking. Always on the front foot, always pushing you back against the fence. And you know, I think Poirier's in a good place here to do. You know.
He seems so good, like mentally he seems so refreshing. I was speaking to James about this because it's the first time we've seen. I know, I've told them. But Khabib's, I know. I wish I had the confidence to pull off your clothes. Look at this. Don't beat him up again, James. But do you think the fact that Khabib's father is here is adding a lot more pressure to him? Because he has said that in a few interviews. He's like, you know, that's my pressure. It's not the fact that all these people think I'm going to win and I'm this big superstar. He's like, my dad's in my corner for the first time, and that's terrifying. And he is quite intimidating.
Oh, absolutely. He's got high expectations for Khabib as well. You know, he knows what he's capable of, and he'll be seeing the flaws in the fight. He won't be seeing the things that Khabib does well, because he assumes that Khabib is going to do things well because he's a great fighter. So his father's going to be. He's going to be on his case. He's going to be very, very, there'll be a lot of pressure on him. But the other thing that we have to consider as well is, Khabib said this in an interview recently. He said that you know, with his father in his corner, he's like a lion. He can't be stopped. And because he's got that mentality, he might even push harder for the finish. He might even give more of himself in the first 2 rounds.
That could, play again, as you said earlier, playing into Poirier's hands in the later rounds.
And then we've got to think of the intangibles. You know, the climate in the arena. Who's more likely to be able to deal with that? I would say, you know, Poirier being from Louisiana, who now lives in Florida. I think, you know, the humidity is going to be more.
Does it suit a style better? Like, I was trying to think earlier, I might be wrong here, but I was thinking, if the climate was to play a part, is that more rigorous on a grappler, like because you're breathing so hard and you're trying to hold someone down? I don't know, like, I mean, you'd know much more about that than I would.
I mean, ultimately, I think it's much more about who's acclimated for a builder in the US, who's more acclimatized to a humid temperature. And like I said, like Poirier was born in Louisiana and he lives in Florida, so he lives in humidity.
Right.
He also had a good sweat on at the open workouts, which tells me he's already hydrated. And then if you're a grappler and you're trying to hold someone down, and they are slick, they are sweaty, and it's humid in there, like, you don't have the same handles, which is why submissions always stick easier in the first round than they do in the second.
People are dry, yeah.
So like the idea of them starting to slip and slide out of things, if you watch the last couple of fights with Khabib as well, and I think this is an adjustment that he's made so he's not level changing into knee range, he's diving right for the ankle, he's going for that real low single. But that low single works really well if you've got a wrestling boot that will stop that foot sliding out of the grip. So if he dives in on that single leg, the sweaty leg of Poirier might just be able to slide out of that grip. You know, sweat becomes a real factor, and these guys will be sweating in the first round.
Brilliant. Dan, absolute gentleman for getting onto us. And again, as I said, get onto the Full Reptile YouTube page, and Dan Hardy, of course, all of his social networks. And he is involved with the Raptors, as I've told you about. Are you going to get on the camera at all, Jamie, soon? Just to say hello? Just give us a little wave. Oh, here he goes. Jamie's the face of the operation. Look at this. Look at this beautiful man.
His brains behind it.
How have you found it this week, Jamie?
Oh yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. He's the only one that can take the sun, as you can see. He's got a great tan. None of us do.
That's the only thing I'm struggling with a little bit is the heat.
Yeah.
But I mean, being here in Abu Dhabi, it's amazing. Like,
you were out in the sand dunes the other day, right? You got up at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, we were shooting with Dan for ESPN, a little video for Dodge.
Cool.
That was awesome.
Did they give you a car?
Yeah, they did.
They're flying back to England for you? That's really nice of them.
Well, not quite. I wish.
And
yeah, it's been amazing so far.
what have you noticed? Like, you guys obviously get angles. You guys are backstage. You're not really behind the media cordon so much. Like, what is it that you've noticed about the main event duo? Has anything stuck out for you?
Only, obviously, I know Khabib's dad's like very close by him, and
Yeah.
he's just got a very watchful eye on everything that's going on. Seems to have a lot of like influence on everything that seems to go on in that camp.
Have you noticed this kind of aura that Khabib carries now? Like, it's kind of different. Like, he has this kind of regal aura about him, right? It's like, I'm the champion, you know. And it seems like people just need a bit of time with that belt, and suddenly they start becoming like, you start feeling it. He walks into a room, even if you'd never seen him before, you'd be like, I think that fella's probably really good at something.
Yeah, no, 100%. But I mean, if you're the champion of the world, I think you've got the rights in a way to kind of call some of the shots and do what you want to do. I know there's obviously obligations to do what you need to do, but I think he's deserved that right in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, we've had the full Reptile crew on today. Great to see you, Jamie. Great to see James and Dan, of course. Absolutely. Always a pleasure to work with you, my friend.
You too, man.
We might even have another word. If Zach Cummings doesn't come out soon, we're going to have to do it all again. Thanks so much, Ed. All the best. Gleison Tibau? Yeah, a lot of my friends actually, they believe that Tibau won that fight for a long time.
That's what I'm
Yeah. A lot of people have said that.
Even in the commentary towards the end, I believe, I know it's only Rogan, but he was saying right towards the end of it, he was saying, this can be his first loss, and it's going to be a big learning curve for Khabib, and everyone on the commentary was thinking that Khabib had lost.
Yeah.
And they went to the decision, and then Khabib won.
It's
very interesting, wasn't it?
It is, and
I saw Dustin and Mike Brown was studying
watching it,
that fight as well.
I was speaking to Mike Brown. It must have been, embeddeds are usually like released 2 days after they've shot the footage, I guess. And I think on the day he was watching that, I interviewed him about it, and he goes, "Yeah, we have been watching that actually." And he's like, "The thing about it is, Khabib is so different now. Like, he goes, he's way more strategic in where he's taking guys down." He said it's like I feel like Gleison fought brilliantly that night. I mean, Gleison Tibau used to be one of the biggest weight cutters in MMA. I mean, he used to weigh in at 55, and he probably went in there about 190. Like, he was just a juggernaut and an incredibly decorated jiu-jitsu player as well. So I think
it was
like
interesting to see that they were studying
has he
how
ever
strong
fought
the
a guy?
underhooks were when fighting Khabib.
Yeah, but it's
How
like,
much of a-
I don't think he's fought like a grappler like that since. Like, a lot of his fights are against strikers, right? Like, even when you look back
He
at
says that's how it is,
recently, McGregor, Iaquinta, all these guys are known for their boxing ability, you know what I mean? And Poirier is as
a little
well.
bit on the floor as well.
Oh yeah. But I just feel like they're more primarily strikers, all of them. Like, if they were having it their way in a fight, they would be dominating someone in the standing exchanges, you know? So I don't know. I feel like
I just thought that was interesting.
Oh, it's
everyone's, and like you say though, to be fair, it's a good point. Like, that was a very long time ago, wasn't it? But it's one of them moments where you can see like a glimpse into someone's weakness that is right now seemingly indestructible.
It was interesting what Dan was saying there about like the first 2 rounds. I think you have to give them to Khabib because he's going to be fresh, he's going to be dry, and he's going to be able to take him down. But I can always remember something Daniel Cormier said about wrestling in general. He's like, you can only wrestle for 10 minutes. Like, you have to take a round off in the third then. Like, maybe you can start wrestling again the fourth and fifth.
Do that as well
Because
Like,
then even against McGregor, he stood with him in the third, knocked him down, and then you're like, well, that's the only opportunity McGregor will have to win if they're standing. And it's like, well,
that's gone then.
Yeah. So it's like, I guess that's really interesting. Like, so that third round is going to be very interesting to watch. Will Poirier be able to land something substantial that will make Khabib's wrestling attacks more reluctant as the fight goes on?
How did you score the first round with Khabib and McGregor?
Oh, Khabib, every round.
Every round?
Yeah. Sorry. But that did, yeah. It's I feel like a lot's been made look like McGregor's hero worship. Like, this is the thing, and people always say about that first round, oh, he did well in the grappling exchanges, but like, he did well stopping Khabib from dominating him.
Yes.
Like, I mean, that isn't winning. That isn't winning. Stopping a takedown for 30 seconds is not winning a round, you know. And after that, he was just underneath him, you know. And as
He
that's
seems to think he won the.
yeah, one of them I think he brings up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know where.
Imagine gloating about winning one round.
I know. Well, look, whatever. I mean, I don't think I'd win a second. I mean, I don't know. It would be.
You haven't put yourself in a position.
Look, I haven't had a camp, okay? But yeah, I mean, he's so dominant, Khabib, and it feels like this fight will showcase him as a superstar for the first time, because he's been the kind of heel, I suppose. He's played the bad guy to McGregor, even though McGregor started public favour and McGregor started the turn during that camp. Khabib was the bad guy as far as the Western world were concerned. You know, he's always been like that, and this fight will portray him as this massive superstar. The crowd are going to roar when he comes out. They're going to be so excited. If he wins, it's going to be like, oh my God, you know. And that's something he never had. We saw Till had it in Liverpool, and it propelled him to a new level. Conor had it in Dublin. It propelled him to a new level. So now, although Khabib has accomplished a lot more than they had when they had those fights in this place, I think this will push him onto a whole new stratosphere, you know? He'll become an icon in this part of the world, I believe, yeah? If he can do it. That's what it all comes down to, you know? It's a huge one for his product.
It's like you were saying, like, it's just the ingredients for Khabib to win right now are just so perfect, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
But then again, the ingredients don't really play too much of a part.
Especially in MMA, my God. And like, whenever I'm asking Poirier about the fact that he's the underdog, he speaks smile on his face. He's like, he's loving it. Like, he's like nobody is going to be.
To be fair, he hasn't seemed intimidated once. And so, you know, when I was telling you earlier about how I got caught up in the middle of the whole family thing when.
Oh, here we go. Sorry to cut you off, my love.
Of course not, man.
We're gonna go and put the camera back on the stage. He's gonna beat me up for that later.
Next fight in the scale in the middleweight division, Zach Cummings.
Here we go. Here's Zach Cummings. The last fighter to weigh in today. $85.5. $85.5. I guess I was right. He was just having a lion. Fair enough. Well, there we go. That alarm clock mustn't have went off. What can you do? But that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I hope you don't mind me. I'll probably be here a lot more, so better get used to it.